Welcome back to Basketball Fan. The WNBA continues to generate intense discussion, and the latest controversy involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark has once again divided fans across the basketball world. Just when it seems the conversation has settled, another incident sparks fresh debate about officiating, player safety, and the league's consistency. Today, we're taking a closer look at what happened, how fans reacted, and what several basketball analysts and former players have said in response. The controversy centers on a physical play involving Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark that was later reviewed by the league. After the game, the play was upgraded to a flagrant 2 foul, resulting in a 1-game suspension for Thomas. Many fans questioned why the officials did not eject her during the game, arguing that an immediate ruling could have changed the momentum and possibly the outcome. Others felt the league corrected the mistake by reviewing the play afterward and issuing the suspension. Following the league's decision, social media quickly became divided. Some players and supporters expressed public support for Alyssa Thomas, emphasizing that everyone deserves encouragement while serving a suspension. Others argued that the conversation had shifted away from the original incident and toward defending Thomas instead of discussing the impact on Caitlin Clark. The debate grew even larger after posts from people associated with the Phoenix Mercury drew criticism online, with one social media post eventually being deleted after receiving significant backlash. The discussion didn't stop there. Basketball commentator Justice Collins offered a medical explanation suggesting that Thomas's previous shoulder injuries may have influenced how she got up from the floor. That explanation immediately became controversial, with many fans, athletes, and medical professionals online questioning whether it accurately explained the movement involved. Critics argued that regardless of any injury history, player safety should remain the priority and that no explanation changes the importance of avoiding unnecessary contact with another player's head or neck. As the online debate intensified, videos from other games were shared by fans attempting to compare similar situations. Some believed those clips contradicted the injury explanation, while others argued that isolated examples could not fully explain the circumstances of every play. The disagreement highlighted how quickly sports discussions can become polarized, with fans often interpreting the same footage in very different ways. Former WNBA star Lisa Leslie also weighed in on the officiating. She acknowledged that refereeing professional basketball is one of the most difficult jobs in sports, but said she believed the officials missed an important call during the game. Leslie noted that she was watching live and immediately felt the contact warranted stronger action. While she wasn't surprised the league later reviewed the play and issued discipline, she questioned why the officiating crew failed to recognize the severity of the incident in real time. According to Leslie, the league and its officials must continue improving consistency, while players also remain mindful of protecting one another during highly competitive moments. At the heart of the story is a broader conversation about consistency in officiating, accountability, and player safety throughout the WNBA. Whether fans believe the league handled the situation correctly or think stronger action should have been taken immediately, the incident has once again placed the spotlight on how physical play is judged and how controversial moments continue to shape public discussion. Here on Basketball Fan, we'll continue following the latest developments while bringing you balanced analysis, thoughtful commentary, and updates on the biggest stories across the basketball world. Welcome back to Basketball Fan. As the debate surrounding the WNBA continues, one message has become increasingly clear from many former players and analysts: protecting every player on the court has to remain the league's top priority. Lisa Leslie explained that basketball has always been a physical game, but physicality should never cross the line into unnecessary contact that puts another player at risk. She reflected on how players from previous generations competed hard while still respecting one another, noting that if accidental contact happened during a hustle play, it was common to immediately check on the opposing player and offer a helping hand. In her view, that display of sportsmanship can often change how an incident is perceived. Leslie suggested that even a simple acknowledgement after the collision could have eased some of the controversy, but because that didn't happen, the discussion continued to grow. She ultimately agreed with the league's decision to upgrade the foul after review while emphasizing that consistency in officiating must apply equally to every player, regardless of their status, reputation, or accomplishments. Every athlete, from the opening tip to the final buzzer, deserves the same level of protection. The conversation intensified after the WNBA announced that Alyssa Thomas had received a flagrant 2 foul and a 1-game suspension following a review of the play involving Caitlin Clark. The league determined that the contact met the standard for a non-basketball act, but many commentators focused less on the suspension itself and more on why the ruling wasn't made during the game. On sports talk shows, analysts debated whether the contact appeared more forceful than a routine basketball play. Shannon Sharpe and the panel discussed how intent can be difficult to determine, arguing that regardless of what a player intended, the result of the contact still matters. They pointed out that athletes instinctively use their hands to brace themselves when falling, and they questioned whether the movement seen on the play looked natural. While opinions differed on intent, several panelists agreed that the league had sufficient reason to upgrade the foul after reviewing the video. The discussion also returned to previous incidents involving Alyssa Thomas. Some fans compared the play to an earlier flagrant 2 foul involving Angel Reese, while others argued that the comparison actually highlighted the inconsistency many people were criticizing. In that earlier situation, officials immediately called a flagrant 2 and ejected Thomas during the game, leaving little room for debate afterward. In contrast, the play involving Caitlin Clark received no immediate flagrant ruling, and disciplinary action came only after the league's post-game review. For many observers, that difference, not necessarily the punishment itself, became the central issue. Critics questioned why 2 similar situations appeared to receive different treatment from officials in real time, while others maintained that replay review exists specifically to correct missed calls. Another topic that gained attention involved online debates about Thomas's previous shoulder injuries. Some commentators suggested those injuries affected how she rose from the floor, while others shared clips from different games that they believed challenged that explanation. The disagreement spread quickly across social media, with fans, former athletes, and commentators offering different interpretations of the same video. Although opinions varied widely, many agreed that isolated clips cannot fully explain every play and that determining intent from replay alone is often difficult. As the conversation continued, many fans felt the focus gradually shifted away from the on-court incident and toward the reaction surrounding it. Public messages of support for Alyssa Thomas from teammates and others sparked another wave of debate, with some believing those responses overlooked the original play involving Caitlin Clark. Others argued that players can support one another while still accepting the league's disciplinary decision. Regardless of which side fans supported, the broader conversation centered on officiating standards, accountability, and player safety. At the end of the day, the issue extends beyond one game or one player. Many fans simply want consistent officiating that applies equally to everyone on the floor. They believe that if the officials had made the appropriate call during the game, much of the controversy could have been avoided. Whether you agree or disagree with the league's decision, the incident has once again placed the spotlight on how the WNBA handles physical play, player protection, and accountability. Here at Basketball Fan, we'll continue bringing you thoughtful basketball analysis, the biggest stories from around the league, and balanced discussions about the moments everyone is talking about. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another update from Basketball Fan. As this story continued to dominate basketball conversations, one thing became impossible to ignore. The incident had grown far beyond a single play. Across television shows, podcasts, and social media, the discussion shifted toward a broader question about how the WNBA can maintain consistency when reviewing physical plays. Many analysts argued that every player deserves the same level of protection regardless of whether they are a veteran, a rookie, an MVP candidate, or one of the league's biggest stars. That sentiment was echoed by several former players, who emphasized that consistency is essential not only for fairness, but also for maintaining trust between players, coaches, officials, and fans. When similar plays appear to receive different rulings, even if the circumstances are not identical, it naturally creates debate and invites scrutiny from everyone watching. For many basketball fans, this controversy also highlighted how much attention the WNBA is receiving today. Every close game, every controversial whistle, and every physical confrontation is now analyzed from multiple camera angles within minutes. Slow-motion replays circulate across social media, former players offer their opinions on television, and thousands of fans break down every detail online. While that increased attention has helped the league reach new audiences, it has also placed officials under greater pressure than ever before. Split-second decisions are now replayed repeatedly, making every missed or controversial call part of a much larger public discussion. Another important point raised throughout the debate was the challenge officials face during live action. Basketball is played at incredible speed, and referees often have only a fraction of a second to determine whether contact is incidental, excessive, or worthy of a flagrant foul. Even with multiple officials on the floor, there will inevitably be plays that are viewed differently in real time than they are after slow-motion review. That is one reason the league's review process exists, to evaluate plays more carefully after the game when additional camera angles are available. However, many fans still believe that obvious dangerous plays should be identified immediately whenever possible, allowing the game itself to be managed consistently from start to finish. Players also understand that basketball is an emotional sport. Loose ball situations, fast breaks, and physical battles in the paint often happen within seconds, leaving very little time to react. That is why sportsmanship continues to be such an important part of the game. Many former professionals have spoken about the value of checking on an opponent after hard contact, regardless of whether the collision was intentional or accidental. Those small moments of respect can help prevent tensions from escalating and reinforce the idea that players are competing against one another rather than trying to harm one another. As the WNBA season continues, this incident will likely remain part of the conversation whenever physical play is discussed. Fans will undoubtedly compare future officiating decisions to this one, watching closely to see whether similar situations receive similar rulings. Coaches, players, and league officials all understand that maintaining confidence in the officiating process is critical for the continued growth of the sport. Consistency does not mean every play is identical, but it does mean that the same standards should be applied as fairly as possible across every game and every team. No matter where you stand on this particular incident, one thing is certain: basketball fans are passionate about the game, and they care deeply about fairness, competition, and player safety. Healthy debate is part of what makes sports so compelling, and respectful disagreement is something that will always exist whenever controversial moments occur. Here at Basketball Fan, our goal is to keep bringing you thoughtful analysis, balanced commentary, and the biggest stories shaping the world of basketball. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to leave your opinion in the comments, subscribe to Basketball Fan, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next breakdown of the latest action from around the basketball world.